Hello everybody, this is Gregory, 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about 3 Catholic proofs in the book of Revelation. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, secutor in principio et nunc et semper et secula seculorum. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. I'll put a banner here on my treatment of the book of Revelation, otherwise known as the book of Apocalypse, historically ascribed to St. John, the evangelist, the only one of the 12 apostles who was not martyred, though he tried. I go to the episode, I'll put a banner in for the book of Revelation, my treatment on it, and also for the episode on the martyrdom of all the apostles. Revelation is a book, and I mention it in my treatment on Revelation, that I would not say that it's a book that Catholics should stay away from, but I definitely think you need to have a good Catholic commentary reading it, because so many Christians, and I would say probably more of the Protestants, especially the apocalyptic Protestants, have read that book and it's made them go down a rabbit hole of just end times craziness. And look, you need to know your strengths and weaknesses and know what your pay grade is, and Revelation is above everybody's pay grade pretty much. So I would tell you, Revelation, especially when it comes to the end of the world stuff, and I'd be a little weary of reading it without a good Catholic commentary. That being said, I would tell you to read Revelation, but there are 3 great Catholic proofs in it. So let's just get started. Revelation 5:8. Revelation 5:8 is great because it talks about how the saints in heaven receive our prayers as little nuggets of incense, but they receive our prayers. They collect our prayers to give to God. So this reinforces what, again, all early Christians believed, and every Christian believed until Martin Luther, and still 1.2 billion Catholics, you throw in the Orthodox too, believe in the intercession of the dead, the intercession of the saints, that our prayers are being heard. And we have a lot of episodes here on that, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But if you need a proof, and there's other proofs, you can look at Tobit, for example. There's other proofs, but certainly this is a proof. Now, a lot of the Protestants would be like, well, Bible alone, and then you give them a scriptural proof on how the people in heaven are hearing our prayers and forwarding them to God, and they're like, oh no, they just said they're pick and choose Bible alone. But that's a good one. Another one is Revelation 8:3. Revelation 8:3 talks about how the angels hear our prayers. Our angels hear our prayers and then forward it to God. And we have episodes here on the intercession of angels. We just did a rapid fire on how angels can never be human, and humans can never be angels. The angels, through the power of God, can take on human form, as we see again in the great book of Tobit. But we see in the great book of Tobit, one of the Deuterocanonical, how the angel Raphael is intervening on behalf of Tobias and of Sarah, and masquerades as a human, but he says too as well, like, we intercede and help on your behalf. So again, that's another one. And another great one, and we've talked about this on Jesus' last list of sins that will get you into hell, but Revelation 20:12 talks about how at the end of time, so by this time he has returned, by the end of time we will be judged, wait for it, by our works. So of course we've talked about this on the 2 or 3 episodes we did on refuting sola fide, but he talks about straight there, and there's other examples, Matthew 25, judgment of nations, and other places where we're judged by works. Now, we're not Pelagianists. We don't believe that works get us into heaven. That was a heresy that the Catholic Church decried and called wrong 1,700 years ago, 1,600 years ago. No, of course. Grace is a gift from God, and we must cooperate in our salvation. And part of that cooperation of our salvation is by doing good works. So good works in themselves, without having the grace of God in your life, will not get you into heaven. Now, if you are a Buddhist or a Jew, possibly it can, if you truly have invincible ignorance and you don't know the existence of Jesus Christ. But for all Christians, it's pretty clear that we will, yes, be judged partly by our works, and we persevere to the end. And one of the things that Christ will look at in our particular judgment, of course in our final judgment, which is the same destination, is how we treat others, the works that we do, the spiritual corporal works of mercy, and straightforward. It says there in 20:12, the book of life will be open, and you'll be judged according to your works. And we have episodes here about sola fide, and there's other places that reinforce that. But I just want to do those three good Catholic proofs, because those three Catholic proofs reinforce Catholic teaching, which shouldn't be surprising, because the Catholic Church was the church founded by Jesus Christ, and it has continuous apostolic succession and so forth. And it's also not surprising that Martin Luther wanted to get the book of Revelation out of the canon, even though it had been in the canon for 1,300 years, because it didn't jive with his kind of hermeneutic of law gospel, and it didn't really jive with his sola fide and sola scriptura. But certainly these three proofs kind of undermine kind of a lot of Protestant thought on what the Catholic Church teaches, and all these are very Catholic: intercession of the saints, intercession of angels, and of course the importance of doing good works in cooperation of your grace that you receive. Guys, post in the comments, like to hear from you, hit the notification, subscribe and share button, share with others. Have you read the book of Revelation recently? What's your take on it? I'd like to hear from you. Till next time, take care, God bless, and pray.